Therapy Thursday is on. It's where we talk it out, work it out with you. If you got an issue, you can text any of the doctors or call us 888-429-0941. Dr. Davi is here.
Yes, he is.
Meredith MD
Hello.
is in the building. And your best OBGYN Orlando is right here. So we can answer any of your queries and help you talk it out and work it out and kind of help with the mental health thing.
Yes.
All right.
If we can.
And we're coming in hot this morning.
We're coming in hot.
Yeah,
All
ready?
right, what we got?
Out the 727 says, I need some help from Meredith. Therapy Thursday.
Meredith.
I met an amazing guy on a trip and have been traveling back and forth to see each other for the last 2 months. We have not been intimate, which was confusing. After my last trip, he confessed that he has herpes simplex 2, but hasn't had a flare-up in 11 years. My heart tells me I should pursue this once-in-a-lifetime love, but I'm scared of the very low chance of contracting it and things not working out in the end. This guy is literally perfect for me. He's handsome, successful, and very into me. Do I risk it for love?
You meant really coming in hot.
Yeah.
Oh, you coming in smoking.
Well, listen, this is actually a common occurrence. If you read any studies about it, 1 in 3 individuals has an STD that is sexually active. You have to commend this person for not only abstaining, but also coming clean about, what's going on with his body, and he doesn't want anything to happen to you, and being open and honest, because a lot of other individuals wouldn't be that way. That being said, it sounds like you've kind of already made your decision. Does this make him, I don't know, it's not like this makes him a bad person, but you do have to just be aware that you could potentially get this down the line, maybe not. As long as you're okay with that, and maybe for the rest of your life you have to use protection when you're with this person. If you're okay with that and he's absolutely the most perfect person you've ever met in your whole life, then why not go for it? Why not? I mean, you don't have to eliminate somebody just because of that. And it sounds like you've already made that opinion and that decision.
He got a lot of pros in the pro column.
Right.
And that's just all I'm going to say. Because, I mean, a lot of people deal with relationships that have hurdles.
She could
like
have a successful relationship and a happy life with this person for forever.
She could also get something that lasts forever, and it's not the relationship.
That's
if
true.
I'm going to be keep it a buck, I had somebody be that open with me and explain it to me, and I couldn't. I just, because I'm like, I'm too messy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't.
Yeah.
But I know people who have and can and have healthy relationships because they're able to, medicate it and dance around it, and they haven't had any issues. So I do know it can happen. I just wasn't good enough to do it.
Well, it sounds like with what she wrote, she's really into the guy, and she wants to try it at least. So why not?
All right.
We got one for you.
You can't even hold in your opinion.
Out the 561.
I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah,
out
you
loud.
did.
I didn't know I said it out loud until you started laughing. I was like, ugh.
Good for you. Try it.
Orlando, so I work as an electrical engineer, and recently we had our 2 best electrical engineers above me leave. Basically, it's because of the hiring market, and if I leave, my boss is effed electrically. What he said.
Electric F.
I just got a raise in June, but I've been working double time, basically on my salary since the 2 have left. Am I wrong for asking for a $10,000 raise?
Oh,
Is this for you, Orlando?
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Yes, you are. You're not wrong for asking for a raise, and the way you do it probably is going to be a better come up. But putting a number on it makes it rough because the situation kind of would paint your boss into a corner. Now, if that number is so, important to you, you might screw yourself out of a good come up because you've limited it. Or you might be able to afford, because you're doing so much work and generating so much money, you might be owed a $15,000 one. So why not just have a conversation with your boss about what you're doing, about the workload that you got, and all of the money that you kind of are missing out on because you used to do side gigs, but now you covering for these other 2 whole employees. So is there anything that can be done? Tell them, look at the books. Don't go in with any expectations because all this is extra. So, don't limit your blessing, but also don't put your man in the corner because he needs you and he knows he needs you. So that might play into your benefit.
Yeah.
So
I would think
solid advice.
I would think just don't limit yourself. Don't put a number on it. People walk in with a number, and if it don't hit that number, it still ends up negative afterwards. So just walk in and just try and get something extra.
So maybe have the number in your head, but just don't put it out there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
That's good.
I have one.
What you got?
Okay, so this is for Davi. My son just turned 16. He is awesome at football. He has a 3.7 GPA and has a beautiful girlfriend. Recently, a girl he goes to school with started working with my fiance. When asked if she knew my son, she replied, "Ew," and proceeded to tell me that my son has bullied her for the past 2 years. He is popular. I know from experience, popular kids can be brutal. But how do I handle this? Should I punish him for this behavior?
And he's how old?
16.
16. Call him out. I think you definitely need to talk to him because, I mean, bullying obviously is not cool, and there's probably an underlying reason for it. So I would definitely have that conversation with your son because there's probably a lot more other things that you don't see that are happening in his life. Have that open line of communication and tell him he's old enough that you don't need to sugarcoat it. Tell him exactly what happened. Hey, I met this girl and she told me some very concerning things about you at school. Can you explain yourself? And I would try to stop it dead in its tracks. All that football, all that GPA, all that Mr. Popular, that is beside the point. You got to get at him. Why are you doing this? Is this true? And if it is, you need to stop.
Yeah. One of the unfortunate things is all of the cases that you've seen people take their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So with a kid old enough to really take it, the 16-year-old you mentioned, sit down with him and go through some of the stories of people who have lost their lives because they've taken their lives because they couldn't take the bullying.
Yeah.
And show him that side of it. Be like, these people didn't think they were bullying them too far, and then this person didn't show up at school the next day.
So my question is, basically the problem that I'm having right now is I plan events and I do events in the area. And I have a new colleague friend that I did an event with and everything went well. And I personally hung out with her and we were talking about the lack of support that we receive from other women in the Tampa Bay area. And I was letting her know, I'm glad that I at least have friends that do support me. And I told her about a specific friend that supported me and how she, always fights for me and gave me really good advice not to listen to what other people say about other people, just to focus on, what you got going on. So I relayed the same advice to this new business colleague. And apparently the friend that told me this advice is friends with somebody that she didn't like. It's starting to get real messy. Mind you, these are all grown women. They're all way older than me. They're in like their 30s, 40s. I'm 20-something. And she takes the beautiful conversation that we had about supporting each other and not having to worry about other people and jumps into my friend's inbox cursing her out, saying, "Oh, why are you talking about me? Keep my name out your mouth." Wild, disrespectful things. And my friend, who's as mature as I am, didn't even respond. She called me. We talked it out. I explained that, no, I did not talk about you. She already knew that wasn't the conversation, but I explained the conversation to her. Come to find out, this girl has a problem with the other girl, and it's their personal issue. My problem is now you done disrespected my friend. Yes, I done talked to my friend. I done talked with you. You know you did something wrong. But I have an event coming up, and I can't have that there. So I don't know if I should disinvite her. I don't know what to do right now. But I feel like anything that happens is just going to make everything worse.
Well, are they working the event, or is it an event where they're invited to, just...
No,
don't go into a long explanation. Just answer Meredith's question.
It's important, though. Are they working it, or are they just a guest?
That's what I was about to answer. They're just guests. This is for family and friends. This is an event that I'm putting on to appreciate my family and friends.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Listen, they're all grown ass people. There's two options here. One, you can totally disinvite, the chick that's the start in the whole drama, because it sounds like she is the real problem here. And that would totally make sense because this is an event that you're putting together and you just want close family, friends, and no drama there. So that makes sense. And maybe you do want to think about that. On the other hand, these are some grown-ass women, and if they have an issue with each other, some people can put their issues aside totally and be grown-ups and go to a birthday party or whatever it is and not start a problem or a fight or anything like that. This is not the Real Housewives of Tampa or Ybor or whatever you want to be. So you can kind of just let it play out as it will be, there's going to be drama and friends aren't going to like each other over time and then reconcile. So you can just let them put on their big girl pants that night and kind of figure it out themselves. It may not be that you need to step in. You know what I mean? Take yourself out of it and hope for the best at the event. They had their words, and maybe it'll just be okay.
Also, aware of the fact that you kind of sparked this whole thing. You threw the Molotov cocktail by giving it to that person who's irresponsible and ran with it. So now you know that's not an outlet for you to be able to talk to. Keep it
Right.
really like straight up business and let them be adult, but don't give her any more fuel to be stupid. All right?
Right.
All right, there you go. All right, let's see here. We got one for all of the docs in here.
Okay.
It says, don't really have a specific doctor, so I'd like to hear what you guys got to say. My girl and I have a lot of attributes that make us great partners, especially our love life. When we're doing it, it's great. But one thing that drives me crazy is romantically, after you immediately hear her with the shower turning on. We argue so much about it. She's like a germaphobe in the bed life, and there's no round two. It kills any moment of vibe as far as cuddling. And I want to know, how do I get her to stop being so weird about just laying in the moment?
I mean, what's weird to you might not be weird to her.
Right.
I
She's
think,
a germaphobe.
Yeah, and I don't think having wanting to take a shower after the act necessarily makes you a germaphobe. I think other parts of her life would start to show you that as well. Personally, I don't see anything wrong with that. If you're having an issue with it, maybe ask her, hey, maybe let's just chill for a few minutes. You know, you don't have to be in such a rush to get up and wash off. But I think this falls under the category of picking and choosing your battles. And
Yeah.
I don't think this is one that's worth
Yeah,
fighting.
there's way going to be bigger things for y'all to argue about.
But there's a way to fix it. Just pick one day. Don't do it. He says they argue about it, so obviously you keep making an issue. Sit down with her and say, hey, let's have one lazy day and show her how great it can be. Like, if you are missing out on something, if you can't do your, off the top rope move because she don't give you another shot,
Right.
then ask her for one day. Like, hey, let's do a lazy Sunday where we romantically have our good time.
Love it.
And let's not jump up to let's be lazy in bed
Okay.
and pick one day, because then if you show her a great time, maybe she won't want to jump up, but if you just want to sit around and
It is weird sometimes being with somebody and then they just like run
right, you
away.
just jump up.
I
It's
get
like,
that.
like, there's no round two.
Right.
There's no post-coital glow.
Yeah, living in the moment for just a
I
second.
like a little glow sometimes. Can I get a little glow?
So I get where he's coming from.
Like I hear the shower head going. I'm like, oh, so we done?
Yeah, we done.
oh, baby, you in the shower? Oh, all right. Well, I can put my sweats
Also,
on
you
then.
could just
I'm
go
done,
in the
we done.
shower and continue the fun in there. Did you think about that?
I hate that.
What?
You can hurt yourself in there.
Shower's fun.
We got a text out the 941 that says, I would like all you guys to weigh in on this. I have a 14-year-old son, and I'm wondering, how do I have a conversation with him about his sexuality without making him freeze or shut down? Because I've started to notice that he is on the feminine side, and I have absolutely no problem with this because I will always love him as my child. I just don't want him to grow up being afraid of who he really is.
I would say the people who I know who are in the I guess you call it the community, the letters, the LGBTQ plus. Not everybody had a conversation. Like their family. Like we have somebody who works with us very closely who's come in on the show and explained to us different aspects of the life. And he just came out to his family last week.
I did not know that.
And
Wow.
And they had no idea. Well, and he thought they would probably have an idea. They had no idea whatsoever. I have other friends who have come out who their family were like, "Hey, we were just waiting for you to be comfortable enough to say it to us."
No.
So sometimes you don't have to chase a conversation because that makes it weird.
Right.
Let them come to you when they feel like they want to. And if you've known, let them know, I've known the whole time, but I was waiting for you to be comfortable. Or the other side, if you didn't know, just be like, wow, I didn't even see it, but are you okay?
As a
You know
parent,
what I mean?
you always have a feeling like you want to try to fix or help along or make things easier for your kid. So you can have somewhat of a conversation and see if they go out and have a longer conversation about how they feel. Other than that, you may just want to let it live for a little bit, kind of like what you said.
Yeah, don't chase it, though.
Yeah.
Like, let them be comfortable.
Right.
And maybe, just maybe, he's not. And
That's what I'm saying.
He's just a feminine guy.
And that's what I'm saying, too. Like, if you leave it alone, don't chase and put labels on it.
Yeah.
Let him come to you with whatever. And if he doesn't, and it's just it's just a phase, you know what I'm saying? Or he just like his hair flipped that
Right.
way, or maybe he visited Atlanta too many
Right.
times. Whatever it is, let him, work his way through it because it might not be what you think.
Yeah, we had a
Yeah.
phase earlier in the confession with the Island Boy, so maybe it's just an Island
Everybody
Boy
got
thing.
their vibes going on. All right, your Therapy Thursday is a wrap, people. We have made it through.